Down and shut up.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give me peace.
Why so serious?
You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the table.
This is Sparta!
I'll have what she's having.
Welcome to another installment of the Screen Squad. Like always, well, actually, before I even say anything, look who's back. Back again.
Hey.
Back from the dead.
Yeah, done.
So what do you identify as?
Huh?
What?
Toothless. Toothless.
It's good to have you back. 2 weeks of just me and Ozzy,
Yeah.
obviously messing up and not having all the facts and just answering things like it was pointed out to us for the Fast and the Furious episode.
Wait, who said what?
Like it was obviously pointed out. But it's good to have you back. Another quiet perspective, someone that doesn't say anything for a while.
Yeah.
Very,
What does it-
very quiet.
Wait, wait, I want to. What was said? What was said?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No.
Don't
Who
worry.
pointed out what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. You'll
No,
figure
is it in the comments? Because I got to look at the
Maybe,
comments
maybe,
now.
maybe you got to read comments. Maybe you got to pay attention.
God damn it.
But like always, I'm Vinny.
I'm Ozzy.
And this week we're talking about the sci-fi movie that came out on Amazon Prime that looked like it probably was trying to be a direct-to-DVD movie, because that's what it felt like to me. The Tomorrow War. Like, it's a really high-quality direct-to-DVD movie. Direct-to-Blu-ray. Very long, but doesn't feel long.
That's what she said.
No, she didn't. Trust me. It's not a bad movie, though. Not a bad movie. I didn't hate it, but I can say that it felt like there was too much story somewhere in there. Like there's a point where I felt like it should have ended, but then it kept going.
Yeah. I think once he gets back.
Yeah. So Tomorrow War, for those who have yet to see it, synopsis. You have a war that breaks out in, was it 2050? Something like that? 2050, and aliens have invaded Earth, and the population of
2051.
Earth, see, I was close. Then aliens have invaded. The Earth's population is dying because the aliens are killing everybody, and there's no way to stop it. So so people from the future figure out a way to jump back to the past to recruit the people from the past to fight in the war in the future.
Oh, the future.
But they're so smart to, and
The white spikes.
yeah, you get introduced to Chris Pratt's. Is it Dan? Dan, right? Chris Pratt's character, who is
Dan.
who is a former soldier in some war, right? Not specifically explained. Who's
No,
stuck?
they did. They explained Afghanistan.
Was it Afghanistan? Couldn't remember. Maybe it's Black Ops.
Hey, thank you for your service.
Yeah. So
I mean, wrong. That was wrong hand.
That's okay. The mirror, it's whatever. You can just blame it on that.
So
Turn the camera.
So he's a war veteran
like Benny Hill.
that after the war realized that he was happy with a scientific part of war, and he actually became a science teacher. But he's been trying to get back to work with the government in the private sector somehow, just to work. That's not working out.
But they won't give him that. But he won't get. He keeps not getting the gig because he doesn't have any actual private sector experience.
Yeah, and so ultimately he's just a teacher that gets recruited to go fight in the Tomorrow War. That's pretty much the synopsis of the movie.
He gets forced draft.
The end.
Yeah,
That's true.
They do force draft a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, they get someone to come over.
there's
He's
no-
like, "What am I doing for?"
And I think they look for people that are gonna die.
Yeah,
Like they already know their future. So
Yeah, they're supposed to die before they're supposed to send over, so that there's no possibility of them running into each other.
like Time Cop and becoming one giant blob.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm still connected to two people. We're crazy.
it's okay. So
the Time Cop. That's with the late great Van Damme, right?
he's still alive.
Oh,
I mean, Really, is he though?
Yeah.
I mean, his soul's probably dead.
No, he's still alive. He banged a lot of chicks in his time, so he lived.
And
What?
allegedly.
He lived. No, but so you have this. Okay, I'm gonna give this to this movie. The special effects are for the aliens. They're really good looking, like white spikes, like the white spikes that they called.
I did like the aliens.
They
Yeah.
they are menacing. That's the thing. They do look menacing. They look crazy.
When they get the
But
the avatar tail thing come with the spike coming
but
out.
see, but
That's
was
kind
it?
of sad.
I don't know if it's just me, but does this movie feel like it was another type? Like there was, it was very much like other. I was watching the movie and I'm like, what movie did this remind me of? Like
Yeah, I felt the
I'm
same
sitting
way.
there and I'm like, well, this movie reminds me of another movie. Like
I
something.
think it had a little bit of a lot of movies. I think that's what it was.
'Cause
It was
it-
very
I mean,
familiar.
But in all fairness, it also felt like Army of the Dead, how they just went in to go do something and then got swarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did like when they do show all this white spikes just show up, it felt very much like World War Z with all the zombies like that climbing over
Yeah.
each other. Again, like I feel like it did have like I said, it felt like another movie, but like you said, Edgar, it probably was just a mix of a bunch of different movies, and that's the thing about
Felt
it.
like a little Terminator too.
Yeah,
at
Terminator
times.
or Terminator 2.
Huh?
Terminator as well, or
Or
Terminator
Terminator
2 Judgment Day?
No, maybe two. So I was right the first time.
Yeah,
You mean Yoimende?
but I don't know. Chris Pratt to me in this movie.
No,
didn't feel
Chris Schwarzenegger.
But he didn't feel.
Get it right.
He didn't. Yeah, well, he didn't feel like the normal Chris Pratt. Like he didn't have the quips, the one-liners. He's playing a lot more of the straight man a lot of the times. The jokes went to his name. I guess his name is
JK.
Sam Richardson. Oh, and then Buff, like Jonah Jameson. Jeez. Like he should have an action movie. He should have a series himself. Like
He should have been a nobody.
Forget Liam Neeson. Forget
No,
like Bob Odenkirk.
J.K. Simmons got yoked for
For
getting yoked for what was it that the Batman movie?
Why? Why would he need to get yoked to play?
No,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he got yoked
Him
for
or
this
something
one.
else. No, after
Wasn't it for this one?
after
He just
what's
got
called
yoked,
the
man.
drumming one.
That guy
After that drumming movie, what's called the Whiplash?
Whiplash.
He started getting yoked. He looked like a buff Santa.
Seriously, that guy needs
No.
that guy needs an action like series just for himself. I want to
Well,
see him like
he
fight
made
somebody.
my number 3 as who I no
Hall
for who I
pass?
would, huh?
Your hall pass.
Oh, I mean, yeah. He took Gene Wilder's place. That's no.
What?
That's no late great Gene Wilder. Love you. I'm saying
Wait, Gene Wilder was on your hall pass?
hell yeah.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
The chocolate factory, bro.
Oh, gross.
chocolate strutted
No,
out.
but-
All right.
But you were saying what you were saying about
So okay, so you know how you were talking about like who would like to see play Xavier, if they brought him in again, and because it can't be Patrick Stewart. I remember I told you Mark Strong. Yeah, I told you put J.K. Simmons there, but he's already like a Spider-Man, so it sucks.
He's in everything.
Yeah, he's like Sam Jackson, except
But
an
I'm telling
awesome
you, they
actor.
need to give J.K. Simmons his own action series, because if he's this yoked at the age of 135, like that's
He's
crazy.
natural, what's going on?
That's something to aspire to, because that guy is yoked, and
Bro,
I
look
was
at some of
like,
those pic-
when I saw him, I was like, bro, I was like, guy, come on now.
look at some of those pictures of him in the gym.
But okay, but other than that, like the movie, not only is it like that type of like it's a movie it's a sci-fi movie, with aliens and killing, a lot of people dying, but there's also an aspect of like family, fathers, like like a father thing, right? He doesn't get along with Dan doesn't get along with his father, and then spoilers before. Well, actually, we'll go to spoiler territory in a bit, but
It's always spoilers
we-
here.
there's always spoilers. Every review has spoilers.
I didn't really like their banter, like the little comedy stuff that they had going. I didn't really enjoy that.
You mean the shit talking that they did?
Not
Yeah, I
even-
didn't like that.
It was all right. It was all right. But again, the movie.
Well, no,
the
it
movie-
kind of it fits with the way like when you have an estranged father because you are purposely avoiding, but you only go see him when you need something.
Yeah. So before we go
he's-
there, like like again, ultimately the movie itself like wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great. It just did feel sections felt too long, and then when when you're in the second act and that feels like the third act of a movie, I was like, oh, okay, well, the third act better live up to being better.
Transformers.
And unfortunately, the third act of the movie isn't the greatest.
It felt like they rushed it.
Yeah, like it felt very they had
No,
they had already
like
peaked, they had already peaked action wise in the second act. Like in the second act of the movie, you have a lot of action coming along, and then you end the movie like it. I'll go into details in spoiler territory, but it's like it's not as exciting, and I didn't really care for the third act at that point, because I felt like, okay, well, a lot of the heart and a lot of the action was in the second act, and this one's just they're just trying to close it. They're just trying to
Well,
close
see,
it.
after he learned, I mean, what he learned from when he had his time out, when he got back, it was like a moment of redemption
What what they should have
for
done
not
though.
just him, but for his like, his future self and his dad.
Well, tell me if you agree. I feel like what they should have done is they should have done a Tomorrow War Part 1 and a Tomorrow War Part 2, right?
No.
And then but like finish the story off with the second act, and then do a sequel with the third act.
So if you do that, you're putting at risk the idea of not being able to use the same character who is your lead in the second part. So
Not
you
if
and,
not
uh,
if
and
you
then,
film back to back, baby.
no, yeah, but then
Hobbits,
but then
Hobbit,
but
and
Put him
then
in
Lord of
the
the Rings
contract.
style.
but then the spacing between makes it kind of go like
No,
somewhat
but it's
loose, like
Amazon, right? So you could say, okay, the first part of the movie gets released this month, and then the
today
next
and then
one,
next month.
yeah, that's all you need to do. Like you don't have to
You
wait
mean
a whole
Paramount?
year like Amazon, Paramount.
Paramount.
Well, Amazon bought it, so it's Amazon's movie.
He bought
now.
the distribution rights.
Yeah, so it's Amazon. But again, ultimately, I feel like this movie was good. But if I were to compare
It's a
it,
great summer popcorn movie.
yeah, because
At home.
and then I don't know why, and then I don't think Chris Pratt deserves like all the hate that he's getting.
For what?
Like
Hate for
for the
what?
movie, he always gets he gets hate because of the
He
type
hunts
of person
in
he
real life?
not hunts, but it's like they feel like he was trying to be. I don't know. What are they saying? That he was the everyman, and that he wasn't. He's not suited to be like the Tom Cruise type of actor. Like this is a movie that the role Tom Cruise
Who's the
could
actor?
have played.
No.
Like
He already did it in War of the World.
not even War of the Worlds.
No,
Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of
yeah.
Tomorrow.
That
Which
one
is
with
a
the
great
with,
movie.
Oh, yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Which is a great movie.
That is a great movie.
But yeah, and then people always find a reason to hate something about movies. But
I know,
again,
dude.
Well, see, those
It's
people are
the
stupid though.
society we live in now.
It's those people are stupid. Everyone wants to have an opinion out there to just take a shit on something.
Like
Like
these
they did
three
that in the
fools I'm
Heights.
looking at.
Yeah, right. Well, you, me, and oh, you count yourself as a fool. All right, fine, whatever.
No, but
So,
again, ultimately
it makes no sense.
But ultimately, this is a popcorn movie. If you have Amazon Prime, like it's a watch. You should watch it because it is a summer movie, but it isn't one that's gonna. I feel it's not gonna stand the test of time, because it's not the greatest, but it's not bad. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle.
So okay. So here, let me give
It's
you
entertaining.
because you asked me what I thought, and I was all right, fine. So, I think that it felt like the movie felt like they had an idea what they're gonna do. They did it, but then they said, you know what? Let's add a little more. Let's put a little more, more of an ending to it. So then they added the second part. The second when they found the spoiler at the very end. You know where they went to the thing to find the place.
We'll talk. Okay, so if that's the case, because I know you're a spoiler person and like to spoil everything.
Yeah,
so let's
but
just
you
talk
guys
about
are gonna
spoilers.
make me feel bad for saying spoiler.
So let's
They like
talk
to
about.
spoil our fun.
Yeah, so let's talk about like now it's time we're gonna go into spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, come back after you watch the movie. But in the second act when you find out that the general commander, chief, whatever her
Colonel?
colonel, I don't know, one of those, right? When you
Daughter?
find out that that's his daughter, and and you find out that that's his daughter, and then she ends up dying, which kind of made sense. I knew that was gonna come. It made
Yeah,
no,
Yvonne Strahovski.
yeah, it made no sense that she was gonna live. And then you have a lot of those like go back in time, make the changes, and then this would never exist, right? This
Yeah,
whole
now
thing will never
now
exist.
this kind of fucks with the idea of like of how we've been presented with the timelines with MCU, then Back to the Future, and then it's like yeah it's it it's like okay which is the timeline how do we go by it, because you go to the past to bring in people from the past to fight a future war. Wouldn't it fuck with the timeline?
Yeah, and then the fact that he finds out how he died, like he finds out that how he dies. Dan finds out how he actually dies. He gets told
From his daughter though.
Yeah, but now that's gonna change timeline. Everything's gonna change, right? Well, okay, so like from the beginning when he gets forced drafted, like that scene was kind of rough for me. I was like, whoa, that's like they really just like, well, you're supposed to die in this year, and it's like he finds out he's gonna die in 7 years, and then he gets sent out.
Well, the little banter that him and Sam Richardson had when they were kind of going, "Did you realize that this is this?" Yeah, just then they kind of came with the idea like, "Oh, we're all supposed to be dead before the sporting starts." Because they don't want us to connect.
And then when you think about the Sam Richardson character,
Awesome, by the way.
yeah, but my problem with it was at the end of the second act when he ends up making it back home. He just said he hid, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, he's back in the third act, like nothing happened,
nothing
no
happened,
guilt, nothing. I'm like,
Well, okay, so I had an issue with that part, that very part when they got back. Okay, let's go through the movie real quick. So they went, did their thing. When they were supposed to go, something happened with the launch. A lot of them fucking died.
a lot of people died.
From off jump, they died. Then they were sent to go find out where the other group is who was supposed to go get something. They're like, no, those guys are dead too. Fine, you guys bring us the vials. Then they end up getting them. They get sent back. Cool. That when they got back, after they got back, the trauma. Actually, once they got they were rescued, and then they said to finish some other tour to go do something else. When they got back to their normal time, when they're both like laying there all in pain, and he's like, I hid, whatever. And they're walking away. He showed a bit of a PTSD, like a lot of trauma, and then all of a sudden he doesn't have it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like
I know,
that was
and
the
it's
one thing,
annoying.
and I feel
I
like
was like, what's the consistency in this shit?
I feel like they made that change just because like people want. I think they wanted
bring
you
him
to like
back.
that character, and you want to bring him back. And
Which is
redeem
why
him.
I think the part afterwards when they went to go find the ship, I think that's why I think that was an afterthought.
Yeah,
But
perhaps
there were
probably-
several things in the movie like that just didn't make any sense. And while we were watching it, because I was watching it with my kid, he just goes, "Bro, you're overthinking it. Just watch the movie." And it was true. I just had to sit there and just watch it and just enjoy it because there was a lot of plot holes in the movie.
Yeah,
And just the delivery of the performance that they wanted.
yeah.
Where the direction that they were given felt like they just kind of said, "Fuck it, let's just get through this."
No, but then again, like that's the whole point of this movie. This movie isn't made for you to sit there and be like, "Oh, pick apart it in pieces." It's just meant to be a fun movie.
But you
it's a
can't
long, fun
show
movie.
one thing and actually bring out nothing. You can't show them that they have trauma. You can't show them without them actually displaying more trauma. The fear that he had, the reason that his daughter doesn't realize that he left when he got back. He left. He left the family already, and and is because
Now,
he couldn't.
now when he got back,
basically had
he didn't leave the family when he got back.
no.
He had already-
But the way she explained it before, why they weren't close, he wasn't there. Just like his dad wasn't there for him.
He was never
his dad
happy with life.
his dad got fucked up when he went to war, and he's like when he came back from this, he came back fucked up and didn't want to be around the family and put them through the same shit. So that's why he left, and that's why when he got his accident and died, spoiler, it's that it kind of triggered a thing in Dan's mind where he's like, I don't want to be like my dad.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like it's not just that. Like he wants to mend the relationship with his pappy too. Like
Yeah, because he finally understood it.
Yeah, he understood it. Like he left his family. They divorced because prior war Dan, like prior future war Dan, he was not happy with his life. He never made it to where he wanted to be, and that's what caused.
I think he was happy.
Yeah, he was happy. He was actually one of those like saying, "I don't want. I'm not going to leave my family. I'm
But he,
never.
no,
gonna
but
leave
he
you.
did.
I'm not going to be.
But
I'm
he-
not going to be my dad."
But he did,
and he ended up leaving.
He
Yeah,
ended up leaving the family because he was never successful in what he wanted to do. Again, and I think that future was written before he had. See, that's another thing. Like that future was written, but he had not gone to the tomorrow. He had not gone to the war of the future yet. So he did this all like without the future war even happening. Like he was
Yeah.
already meant to leave the family and like just
Because the future is not written.
yeah, and take the same steps that his dad
it's a
did.
future.
But then, see, that's what I'm saying. Like when he comes back and he
Your
makes a
kids,
decision
Dan,
that
kids.
he'll always stay, like he's gonna stay with his family, and then he reconnects with his dad. You know, in the third act, with them fighting, and his dad is a pretty good, sniper. And then see my problem with the okay, so if I'm gonna talk about the final, like the third act, my problem with it is when he hand to hand fights the giant female white
Queen,
spider.
basically.
He's punching it. He's doing all this stuff. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're punching a giant monster.
He's stabbing it, bro.
No, but he's also
Is that claw?
but he's also just punching it. And this thing has a tail that could have killed him at any time. And
shoot spikes.
and then at the very end when they're laying there, how did the Sam Richardson character show up and know exactly where they were at when they had left them, like by the snowplows, those snowmobiles?
Hey, bro, don't overthink
movie.
it.
Yeah,
It's a movie.
I know, but still,
That part I go with it. It's a movie.
But then
But it's annoying the fact that the drama part is killing me. It's like no, I know way too many dudes who like came back with trauma in real life, and they don't just kind of like sign it off. I'm gonna go look for the mothership. Like nothing. No, like he just walked it off.
yeah. But what I did like, so
Lack
from
of consistency.
the second act, what I did like is the whole cost of it. The amount of people they lose on the jump because of the miscalculation.
30% comeback.
Right. Not only that, when you have the building, when they're searching for the medical team or whatever, when they're searching for that research team, and you have that staircase like chase, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was all pretty good. Like that, I was pretty engaged during that part. I was like, wow, this might be pretty good. And then you get the third act. But
No, I think all around, once I stopped thinking, and just watched it, the whole thing just became fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie to watch.
Kind of like chairman of the board.
Yeah. Oh, but even the third act, I didn't mind after.
after you stopped like wanting to pay attention,
analyzing
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah. But I think that's just the thing. I enjoyed the second act a lot more because I feel like it felt more like the war aspect, and I did like the whole oil tanker, the whole oil thing, the oil rig that they're in, and the fight, and when he's connecting with his daughter while they're trying to figure out that virus that kills all the monsters.
He almost had that little you go we go moment.
Yeah. And again, it would have been awkward if he would have brought his future daughter back to the present.
Held your hand, and all of a sudden he jumped back, and
I mean, even
bam!
though
Only
some
her
of those
arm
people-
shows up. I
even
was
though-
like, I have her arm in my hand.
One thing also, if you think about it, the people who came from the future and just stayed in the present, just stayed in the past, they got lucky. They didn't have to go do the war anymore. They didn't have to fight. They're like, hey, I'm chilling. I'm gonna eat some Hormel chili and just chill.
With beans or no beans?
Either or. Dealer's choice.
It's not chili if it has beans. So you know.
So, but ultimately, but like, again, I'm not gonna say it was a horrible movie. it was enjoyable.
a horror
I might
movie.
I might have my issues with it, but I can't say that I didn't enjoy this movie because I did
enjoyable
enjoy
movie,
the action in it. I did enjoy the monsters. I did enjoy the story. I enjoyed the story. The third act left me wanting. Left it was a little bit lacking, but still didn't take me away from this being. This for me saying that this is a horrible movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's a summer. It's an action summer action movie that I think warranted, maybe should have been released in theaters, but I think because it was too long, I think that would have been its downfall in theaters. On Amazon Prime, I think that works, but I just think
it's a great start for the summer. For this summer, at least, I think.
Yeah.
And I think In the Heights was, but okay.
No, but
That's a great start for the summer.
But ultimately, I think if you haven't seen the Tomorrow War, I think it deserves a watch because it's just
Definitely. If you haven't seen it,
a movie,
go watch In the Heights.
which is not in theaters anymore. They took it out of theaters.
Already? Damn.
What, In the Heights?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah,
just
but it's on
just for a few more days.
HBO
it's on
Max?
a few more days is on HBO Max.
Yeah. So if you can't watch HBO Max, and watch In the Heights, and then maybe like later on in the year watch, the Tomorrow War. Like, if you don't watch, you're not missing anything
movies.
massive.
Just watch movies in general.
Yeah.
So people can start putting more movies back in theaters. But ultimately, I highly recommend just watching the movie because, again, it's escapism. It might be a little bit too long, but if you like Edgar said, if you go in there and stop overthinking the movie, you'll have a good time.
I wasn't overthinking the movie and I still enjoyed it.
I didn't say I didn't. I'm just saying it's a good movie.
No, but I overthought it and I still
Third
enjoyed
act,
it.
not so much, but the movie overall is good. The director.
I just want to see J.K. Simmons do more extra stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah. The director of this movie did Lego Batman. And after this movie, I'm like, he wants to do the Nightwing movie. I don't know.
I like Lego Batman.
Yeah, I like Lego Batman too.
I like Will Arnett.
I like Lego Batman too. It was enjoyable. So I don't know. We'll see what else we'll see from this director. But I mean, for this big budget live action movie, it wasn't a bad deal for moving from Lego Batman to this.
When it comes to the action scenes, they're fine, and that's what you would need for a Nightwing movie, anyways. You're there for the action scenes.
I'm there for
not
the
for
story.
not the continuity and story all the time because they're always gonna fuck that up anyways.
I'm there for the story. But other than that, like I think everyone did a good job in this movie. I think for Chris Pratt to try to play against his normal quippy, like jokey, goofy self.
Yeah, but then you get away from you. It's good for him because you
That's what
get
I'm
away
saying.
from
Star-Lord.
Why are they complaining? I don't get why they're complaining because he's done it before.
He's done a lot of movies. He's done a lot.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot.
Hell,
Of
And
even-
he hasn't been funny in all of them. What's that movie he made with what's her name? The one where they're on the
Good job.
spaceship.
Good job. I like your
Passengers.
expression though.
Passengers.
With
Yep, but he had a charm in that one though. So
Jennifer Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
J-Lo.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. No, yes. I mean, still, he's not a bad leading actor. I just don't know why people are just hating on him. Also because I think he's religious. People hate on him.
Yeah.
So it
That
doesn't matter.
that I agree with.
what, the religious part?
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of
hate him
people
for that too.
hate him. Yeah.
But again, definitely check out Tomorrow
I think that's
War.
why I like him even more.
Check out
Well, I like the
Tomorrow
I like
War
the
and
fact he hunts. He hunts. It's pretty dope.
Chris, again, everyone, just all
We
around.
all have our
they
favorite
did a pretty-
Chris's.
they
He's
all
not
did a
my
pretty
favorite,
good-
but he's okay.
all around. Everyone did a good job, and it warrants
Chris
a watch.
Angel.
And definitely check it out.
Chris Evans.
on-
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Rock.
Sick
Christopher
cell.
Columbus.
No?
No? All right. On that note, guys,
How
this
dare
has
you,
been-
sir?
This has been Vinny.
This is Ozzy.
And Edgar.
We'll see you guys next week.
Watching the Heights.